So let's look at the data yesterday we had, and I'm going to open up my um, note taker. And was everybody able to type some data?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's take a peek. Now, don't just watch mine instead, and then then you guys are gonna do some. Okay, so here is the data. All right, let's see how many people typed in info. All right. Crystal, Ellen. Okay, so we got like 70 or so data points. Okay. And if I told you to put these in order, would that take a while?
Yes.
Yes, it would. And I wouldn't want you to do that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cheat a little bit. So I'm going to just copy all this data, and I'm going to Google 5-point summary calculator. And what would you guess the average is? Let's look at the data again. Just by kind of looking at it, what would your guess be?
Probably like
Maybe like 15?
15. Anybody else?
Well,
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to paste the data and check this out. Boom. The average, look at this. The median is actually 15. That was a good. All right, that's the median, right? The minimum was 0 because somebody asked their dog to hum, Braden. And the max was 34, so somebody has some really good lungs. I don't know who took that data. Q1 was 12 and Q3 was 20. Can you get a piece of paper and do the box and whisker right now? And let me get my paper, and then I'll project it to yours. Okay.
this number 7.
So this is all of our data, right? So you're going to draw a box and whisker, and then you're going to show me on your screen your box and whisker. And also, if you have a little time, figure out the upper bound and the lower bound. The lower bound probably not necessary. I think the upper bound is the only one that would be necessary.
Brayden, why are you in the dark? Why are you in the dark?
Where is he? He's in Iceland.
Nice in the dark.
He's in Iceland, don't you know?
Oh, yeah.
He's,
Sure.
he's in
Or he's just,
he's in
or he's just a couple houses down from me.
a closet.
Well, I like it in the dark.
All right, anybody finish their boxing
I
whisker?
think about spotlight too. I have a little spotlight.
All right. All right, Ethan's going to show me his boxing whisker.
Sure. When I'm almost done.
All right. And you can sketch it out. I mean, you don't have to, you could do like evens or something. Let me get myself out of this screen. So I'm looking at, I have two computers, right? So I have my laptop and my big computer. So I can see you guys on the big screen over here. Anybody figure out the IQR?
8?
8. Very good. So that means 50% of the data in the center is 8 seconds away, right? All right, let's see real quick, Ethan.
Is it 8?
8? Yeah, it is. From 12 to 20, it's 8.
20. That's
And it's like pretty cool. Anybody figure out the upper bound? What are you going to add 8 to? What are you going to add 8 to?
Would it be 20?
To 20. So what's 20 plus 8? 28.
28?
Now you got to add half of 8.
32?
32. So is there any outliers?
No.
Yes.
Oh, wait, 34, yeah.
34 is an outlier. And maybe they have 33 if there is a 33, right? I'm going to look at the data real quick to see if there's any 33s. So whoever did 34, all right, Crystal, she measured somebody with 34. They would technically be an outlier, slightly out of in the outlier, right? So the idea is that 50% of the data is between 12 and 20. The average, the median is 15. It's not exactly in the middle of 12 and 20, but somewhere in the within the range. 34 is an outlier, and is 0 an outlier?
No.
Let's see. We need 12 minus 8. What's 12 minus 8?
12 and 8 is 4.
4. And then 4 minus half of 8, which is another 4. What is it?
12.
12 minus 8 is 4. And then 4 minus 4 is
0.
0. So 0 is not quite an outlier, but is at the edge of being an outlier. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's literally the last number that could have potentially. So it almost was an outlier. Okay. All right. Now let's find the standard. Well, look at all this data. Wow. Let's see which one we know. Do we know this one? Average? Yes. Mean? Yes. And look at this symbol. Now, I told you that it used to be, it's an X with a bar. And this was actually called a mu. Mu. It's Greek for, I have no idea. Mu Greek. I don't know how to spell mu. Let's find out. I think it's mu. 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 So it's mu, no I. So mu is that symbol. And mu and the X with the bar are a little different. I'll find out what they are later because I forgot. One of them is the average of a sample of people, and one of them is the average of all of the people. That make sense? Now, I forgot which is which, and we're going to find out soon. So can you guys write down your notes? X with the bar. Let me write that down. Now, when there's two things to remember, I only remember one, and unfortunately, I don't remember which is which. So one of them is the average of a sample of people. And one of them is the average of all people of all. So did we ask all of the people in the planet to hum? Would that be yes or no?
No.
No. So we definitely have a sample, right? A sample of people, okay? So I'm going to find out which is which, right? All right. Oh, I'll come back to this. All right. Absolute deviation, you know what that means. Mean deviation, you know what that means. Minimum, yes. Maximum, yes. Variance, I don't know what that means. Standard deviation, who knows what that means. Here it is, median. We got this, Q1, Q2. Q2 is the middle, right? The median. Q3 is 20. Decile, I don't know what that is. Or you don't know what that is. Interquartile range, 8. Remember? All right. Quartile deviation. Upper fence, what did we guess it was? 32, right? What was the lower fence?
0.
0. So we did get that. Set of outliers. There was only one. 34. Okay. So metric. This has a lot. Look at, they added all the numbers. 1,000. The range is 34. Okay, cool. So there's a lot of data. So look what I did for you. I went, and I don't know if anybody noticed, I made it at the very bottom. I made another sheet. Well, let me see if this works. How do I get out of this pen? Okay, so I go to sheets, and look what I did. I made a bar graph out of the data you guys typed, and I put it in order. Actually, I didn't put it in order. Never mind. So I made a bar graph, and do you see this data here? I couldn't figure out how to make the bars smaller, but I kind of worked it a little bit. What would happen if we got more and more and more and more data? It would look like what? Like that. Does that make sense? So if we got more and more and more data, what would the shape be? That right there. Okay, so can you draw that on your notes? And this is called a bell curve, a normal bell curve. Okay, let me zoom in. And go ahead and copy the percentages down. And by the way, our average was, I forgot what the average was. Let me go back to that thing real quick. I'll come back to this in a minute. Do you remember what the average was?
The average was 15 to,
Oh, for median.
to 0.
All right, let's see. The average was right here, 15.2. The median was 15, and the average was 15.2. So is this data pretty close to symmetrical, slightly right skewed, slightly left, or slightly left skewed? Anybody have an idea? The median was 15.
It's pretty symmetrical. It isn't exactly symmetrical.
Yeah, it's pretty symmetrical, but just slightly to the right. You guys agree with that? And here's how you could tell for sure. If you look at the data, let me move this guy out of the way. Look at, isn't that look pretty symmetrical? It's kind of up and then kind of what? Down. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if we got more and more and more data, it would look eventually like this. Okay. So let me know when you're done copying this down, this graph. And make it pretty large in your notes. So take your time, and you don't have to worry about the vertical, these numbers here on the left. You do want to have the percentages, and then this little 0 here, and then over here put 1 plus 1 of these weird little symbols plus 2. Yeah.
Will we have any Khan Academy today?
No, we're just going to do this. Okay. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand this bell shape. And unfortunately, Khan Academy, well, it might have some. I'll look it up later, but we won't. Okay, so let me know when you guys are done copying this bell shape. Yeah, and this is actually page 7, Eli. Yep. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it down too. So I might go back and forth a little bit. Okay. So we have our data, and then the graph goes okay, and right in the middle is the average. Not the median, the what? The average. Now, by the way, the median and the average would technically be the same number in this case because it's symmetrical. And then this is one of these weird things away from the average, which is 34%. About what was is 34 point something, wasn't it? I can't ever remember. 0.1, okay. 0.1. All right. And this is one of these weird things to the left, right? To the left. That's why it's minus. And then the next slice, if I remember correct, it's like 14%, or what was it? 13.
13.
Point what? 6?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Percent. And this is another 13.6. Shade that in. And then the last little sliver was like 2% or something like that.
0.2.
Right. 2.
Well, there's 0.2 and there's 0.1.
Okay, so this one's what's the second sliver? 2 point something? Let's see.
No, it's just 0.2 and 0.1.
Oh, 2.1. Yeah, 2.1%. And then over here, 2.1%. And then this little tiny sliver, right? Yeah, 3 deviations away is 0.1%, and then 0.1%. Okay. So if you were to take the SAT to go to college, where do you think you would land on your score? Would you be within this area, or are you some kind of mad genius? By the way, the people that get 100% on their SAT, they're over here.
I'll probably be on the very left.
Yeah, you would probably be right around here. Does that make sense? Because it's 68%. So most of us will land here. There's a few people that are, they're advanced, right? And there's only 2% of the people. Like if 100 people took it, only 2 of them would be up here. And not even one would end up being this far away. Or you did so bad that you got every single answer wrong, All right. So this is the average number, right? Average. Now, why do you think that this bell shape is so tall right here? Why do you guys think that this is like? Why does it have the bump in the middle?
Because more of the people are there?
Yeah, exactly. Most people are here, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, and how many of them are here? 68. What?
68.2.
Yep. Percent. Okay. And if 68% of anything is most of it, right?
Yeah.
And then so the bell gets smaller and smaller, right? Now, right now we're going through the coronavirus, obviously. So we're going up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but eventually it's going to start going away. Start going down slowly, hopefully. Now, we want the bell shape of coronavirus to go from this. We want it to go to this. Do you see there's still the same number of people in the green than in the blue? And the blue is just stretched out, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why this is important is because if these are the hospitals, this is their limit that they can handle. All right? This is the limit right here. So the green one, they're over the limit, right? That makes sense? And so the reason why we're not in school right now is we're trying to get underneath the curve. Now another idea they're trying to do is they're trying to raise this bar. They're trying to raise the bar higher, right? By having more hospitals, more things, right? Having the military to come and help. So they're trying to stretch this green curve to the blue one and also push the limit to higher. Anyway, so that's the idea. Now let's find out what are the links I gave you guys. And I think I'm going to be hiding them here. So I gave you, and you don't have to check that right now. I'll let you guys play with it in a little bit. There's a stats calculator, and it's a link. And this was going to take you to here, where you could type in data, and it'll give you all the quartiles and all the stuff that we looked at. And then the next link I gave you was a box and whisker plot. And check this out. I'm going to make a box and whisker of all the data in 2 seconds. Well, never mind, not 2 seconds. In a few seconds. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to paste all of your data, and tell me if this is not cool.
So it just makes it for you?
It makes it for you, exactly. So I want you guys not to have to know I want you to know how to make it, but I want you to know how to use tools that make it for you, because this means nothing unless you know what it means. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So right here, you can say, oh, half of the data is here inside the box. A quarter of it is in this little piece. And this one, a lot of people think, oh, is there more people here? No, this data is just a little more spread out. And then this is the other data, the whisker. So I give you guys links to this, and I'll share with you guys in a minute. So it makes it for you, right? And all I did was go to data, and I just copied the numbers. Okay. See, that's all the data we have. And then I press display. So it took me, I don't know, about 30 seconds to Google this and find it. Okay. And you can save this and share it. And so if I give you guys like a little assignment, you guys can use this. All right. And then the next link I gave you was this one right here. Well, this one I made the, what do you call it? The histogram. And here is the normal curve. Okay. Now I'm gonna have you guys draw this in your notes, okay? And I need some help. The mu was the standard. The average. What was our average of our data? I thought it was like 15 point something. Anybody remember what that is?
I think it was just 15, but I don't know.
Yeah, 15. Let's look. I think it was 15 was the median. Oh, here it is, 15.21. Okay, I'll just put 15.2. So I'm going to see if I remember where is that. Give me a second. I got too many things floating here. Here's Iceland. So 50. Okay, this is that thing. Here it is. So 15.2. And then this is new symbol right here. This is called, I forgot. So this right here is how wide these are. Does that make sense? This is how wide these are. Now, you don't have to know what the symbol is for that yet, but do you notice that we can slice up this? Go ahead and draw these two different. We can slice this up. Like, let's say you were slicing up a fish. So you're gonna slice this up like this, and then slice it up right there, and then slice it up like that, right? So this is the 1 away, 2 away, 3 away. Now, couldn't you make them wider? Now, if you make them wider, you might be making this too much. This might not be 34% anymore. It might be more. So you got to make it so it's 34% always, okay? So the number, this is a little symbol right here, is called standard deviation. Standard deviation. Now, this standard deviation is how far it is from the average. So let me look at the data and find out what number that was. 1 second, and then I'll take your questions. I know that you should have a bunch of questions on that standard deviation symbol, and I already have my answers ready. So the standard deviation. So we need to know how far to slice up for our data. Okay. Now this calculator is going to tell us that number in a second here. It's right here. Standard deviation 5.9. It's 5.9. So is it okay? I'm going to make it 6 just to make it easier for our lesson. Okay. So I'm going to put 6. Boom. Okay. All right. So what percentage of the people got below a 5.2? Excuse me, a 15.2. So here's all of our data, right? What percentage of the people is right at the average? 50%. So half of the people are below 15.2, and what percentage of the people are above 15.2? The other half. So half of the people are to the left, and half of the people are to the right. Okay. Let's suppose that this was a competition, right? All right, Braden, what was your minutes? Seconds. How long could you hum? Are you here? All right. Anybody who can hear me? What was your seconds? How many seconds did you hum?
23.
23. Okay, I'm gonna put 23, and then I'll put 24. All right. Your ranking, okay, you're in the 90th percentile, which means you're like the 90% of the people were below you,
Yeah.
and 10% of the people were above you. Okay. All right, Dylan, what'd you say? 24?
Yes, 24.
Okay. 24 means you're in the 92 percentile, which means 92% of the people were below you, and 8% of the people were above you.
I got 17.
17. Okay. All right, 17. You're in the 60th percentile, which means you were better than 60% of the data, and that means 39% of the people were longer than you. Okay. Anybody else? So this
My sister was 22.
22. Look at this. So this means that she was in the 87th percentile. Percentile is kind of like your ranking, right? Like your ranking. What about that 34 person? What would you guess that would be? What percentile would that person be? There we go. They're in the 99.9 percentile. Make sense? What if you were like 60? 100th percentile. You're so far, you're better than 100% of the people. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys follow this link. And where would you like me to put this link? On the Google page? Yeah, let me put that. Everybody go to the Google Paste and then open this link so that you can. Okay, give me a second. And then somebody's baby is not happy.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'll go on mute.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. Follow this link and let's type our data. Okay. And I'll zoom in so you can see, you can go back and forth. So for the mu, type the average, which was 15.2. For the standard deviation, put 6 and then press enter. And then put in a number that said, oh, I did mine at 20 seconds. And then put the one that says below or above. And it'll tell you what ranking are above you, what percentage are below you. Can you guys try that out? Now, you don't have to worry about how all of the math that's behind this. It's okay, because I want you to understand how it works, not all of the mechanics. It's like if we're driving a car, you don't have to know exactly how the car works. You just have to know how to use it. Okay. So test this out, everybody. Okay. And when you're done testing it, change the standard deviation to a bigger number, like 12. And look what happens to your graph. Does it get taller or smaller? Put a decimal. And look at the numbers in the bottom. Do they spread out? And 6 was our standard deviation. So let's suppose somebody had a 5-second yesterday, right? So what percentage of people were better than you? Let's see. It would be 95% of people were better, and I don't mean to see they're better than you. Just as the wording. Okay. And then after we're done with this, we're going to do the height of people. Okay. So let me know when you guys are done experimenting with this a little bit. Okay. I'm going to look up the data for height. Average height of teenagers, right? Teens USA. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so change the average, the mu, and I got the average height of teenagers. All right, the average height of teenagers in USA for males is 5.9. So 5.9, 9 inches. Let me see, what's 9 divided by 12? Desmos. What's 9 divided by 12? 9 divided by 12 is 3/4. So 9.75. 1 second. The average height is 5.75. Okay. 5.75. Okay, so everybody put 5.75 on the average. And the standard deviation is 2.94. 2.94. Okay, so can somebody tell a boy? Can you tell me your height in inches? Actually, not 5. It's 5 feet. That would be 60. 60.7. 60. 75. Hold on.
78.
Wait. Yeah. Hold on. 5.9 is 60 plus 9 is 69. Okay, so it's 69 inches. All right, Dylan. How tall are you in inches?
like 78 or something.
All right, 78. Okay. Are you 6'6"?
No, I'm six. I'm like 6'3".
6'3". Okay, so say here we go. 6 feet is 72. So what rank are you in for teenage boys? Look at this. Look at my screen. You're 98th percentile. So you are taller than 98% of teenage boys. What percentage of boys are taller than you? Right. 2%. Okay. All right. Can another person give me their height? Another boy?
6'1".
6'1". Okay, that'd be 73. Okay. So what percentage of people are taller than you? Are you taller than? Look at my screen if you want.
2.1.
What percentage of people are you taller than? You're tall. Yeah. You can look at my screen. I have the data.
It's kind of hard for me to see.
Oh, okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
So right here, look on the right side.
Uh-huh.
What percentage is that?
2.94.
Oh no, that's it's that one in pink.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no.
0.91.
Yeah, so 91%. So you're taller than 91% of boys, teenage boys. So what percentage of people are taller than you? Ready? Let me type it in. Yeah, 73. There it is, 8%. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, all right. Can I get one more boy in here? And then we'll look at the data. And then we'll do the girls' data.
My brother is like 6'2"-ish.
6'2"? Okay, so 6'2". Make it that tall. Okay, 6'2". So he is taller than 95% of the people. Make sense? And what percentage of the population is taller than him? The other part, right? Okay. All right. Now let me look at the data for girls. I have it right here. For teenage girls, it is 5 feet 4 inches. So that's going to be 5 feet is 64, right? Wait, 5 feet is, yeah. And the standard deviation is 2.8. 2.8 means they're closer together. Their data is closer together. All right, can I get one of the ladies' heights? In it,
5'9".
5'9". Okay, so 5'9", that's 69. Okay, 69. Okay. So are you taller than half of the people or less than half of the people? And here's your clue right here, Ada. 64, that's half of the people. So are you bigger than the 64 or you're less than 64?
I'm taller.
You're taller. So if you're taller than the average, that means you're more than 50%. So you are, let's find out. You are taller than 96% of the girls. And how many people are taller? Yeah, according to
I
this.
was gonna say I am 5'4".
All right. Yeah. And well, this is for 5'9", right? And this one is 3%, almost 4%. Ada are taller than you. All right, Abby, you're 5'4", correct? Okay. All right. So 5'4". You're 5'4"?
Yeah.
Perfect. You are perfectly in the way.
I'm perfectly average.
You are literally average. You are literally taller than half of the people, and half of the people are taller than you. Does that make sense? See this? The pink is the people greater than you, and then the unshaded is the one less, unless you switch this angle over here. Okay. All right. Is there any other girls online with us?
I'm 5'5".
5'5". Okay, so we're gonna type in a 65 here under X. Okay. So are you going to be more than 50% or less than 50% taller than people?
More than
More.
50.
Yes, because you're bigger than the average, right? So
Yeah.
you are 64 percentile, which means 64% of the people are taller than you. And I'm sorry, 64% of the people, you're taller than 64% of the people, right?
Mhm.
And 36% of the girls are taller than you. Okay. Make sense?
Wild.
So if I put my height for like grown men, I would probably be in a little bit shorter than average. But let's find out. See how tall men are. Now, if I were to put the height between Mexican men, people in my ethnicity, I might actually be a little taller than average. So it kind of depends on what your data is like, right? So I'm gonna put Mexico. I'm looking at some data and male, and the average height of a man in Mexico is 5 feet 6 inches. So 5 feet 6 inches, and the standard deviation is 2.9. And I am, with a good set of shoes, I'm 5 feet 9. Right, Ada? Because without shoes, I'm shorter. So I always add my shoes. So I'll be 69. So I am, my percentile is 85%. But in the US, I'm actually shorter than the average person. So that'd be 69. So in the US, I'm actually only the 15th percent. That doesn't make sense. Right? That's not fair. Anyway, can't compare myself to that. Okay. So that's the idea that I wanted to talk about today, is that the bell curve gives you your ranking. Does that make sense? All right. Can I take some questions and then we'll finish the notes and be done today? Any ideas? Any questions?
I still haven't turned in any of the notes. Would I be able to like turn them all into by today and like still get credit?
Absolutely. You don't have to rush to do them all today. Just do them, but do them in order. Do the oldest to the newest.
I finished them already.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
finished them.
Yeah. Go ahead. Of course. Yeah. When you're done, let me know so I can go in the grade book and type them in.
It says for me that I'm missing number 3 Khan Academy for 200 points when I turn.
You turn it. Okay. So you know what I'm gonna do for everybody? I'm going to put in the pace a little link, and it'll be like a form, and that'll automatically send an email to me, and this way I can keep track of everything, right? So yeah. All right, let's see. I'm going to make it real quick. So here's watch this. I'm going to make it and post it on there. While I do this, can you guys think about any questions? Also from what you have, but also from the bell curve and how does it work, and anything like that. Anything like, and I'll give you the links to them so that you can use them. I don't care that you have to build it. The computer can build it for you, but you have to explain what it means. That's all that matters. I'm going to call it finished work. Finished assignments. I'm going to say late. Is that okay with you guys? In quote. All right. So all you're going to do is tell me which assignments.
How do I turn in the notes?
Take a picture if you have with your phone with Google Classroom app. Numbers.
And just email it to you?
No. Yeah, the Google Classroom has a little camera, just like you do with Instagram. You just take a picture and upload it to the assignment. Okay. Oh, I should put your name, right? That should be your first question. Your name, and then the assignments.
Unit.
Yep.
My Google, not my Google Classroom. My Aries have been acting up recently. Like for my bio class, it says NA when I have a 98% in there.
Yeah. So NA means they're not grade counting it against you. So you might want to just ask your teacher. NA means they didn't give you a blank or a 0 or any score.
NA means not
not applicable, right?
Here,
Thank you.
I'll show you what it says. It looks so like.
Yeah, go for it. Let's see. And watch this. I'm almost done with the.
It says I have like a 98% on there.
Yeah.
But it's an A. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. So since we're not really like grading our normal way by giving you quiz and tests, it's mostly going to be by you just doing the work, right? So yeah, I think you're okay as long as you just submit your work with your. Is it bio? You said.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do that and just you'll be fine. Okay. All right. So here is going to be the link for late work. And this way, I'll get an email, and you can just tell me that way. Link to late work. Click here. Okay. So Ada, when you're done, just go here and type in the ones you've done, and then I'll go in and just check those off. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I had thought of this earlier, but I hadn't had a chance.
Is there a system where it's like for every day, like the point goes down or something?
No, not at all. Not 100% no. Okay. You don't want it to be like wait to the end because you're gonna have too many to do. It's best to do is just join us in the class if you can every day, and every day that we're done, I don't want to give you extra work. Once we're done for the day. Okay.
Okay.
Like today, we didn't have a lot of notes. Okay, but I'm going to give you an assignment where you're going to post number 7. And what I really want to see in there is that bell curve, and some notes that it says the bell curve is the ranking, right? And let me just do that for you at the end. Here, give me 1 second. Okay. Here, let me just finish this off. We'll be done right now. Okay. So here is the bell curve again. And then right down the middle, like if you're slicing up this fish, this is the average. Okay. And which is called the mean, right? And then it's 50% of the data is this way. 50% of data is that way. And 50% of the data is also where? Okay. Now, it's also the rank. The rank is called percentile. Which word do you understand better? The word rank or the word percentile? Percentile, okay? They both mean the same thing. Okay? Some people rank, they understand that better because they know how to I rank, whatever. But the percentile is the actual real word, okay? If you are here, what percentile are you at this point right here? Are you 34% or 84%? Remember, this is 50%.
Yeah.
So are you 30 right here? Are you 34% or are you 84%? 84, exactly. You got to add the 50. Now, I'm off because it's 33 point something, whatever. Okay, you get the idea, right? What if you're here? Does anybody remember what this extra number here? 13 point something? Point something. So what rank are you here? Are you the 13th percentile or the 97th percentile?
The 97.
97. And then the last little piece was 0.1. I think it was 2%. So what about here? 99 percentile. Okay, so this is what I want to see in your notes today. This little piece right here. All right, now let's go the other way. What rank are you here? Right there. Are you 34 percentile or are you 50 minus 34?
50 minus 3.
50 minus 34 is 16%. Okay. And then here, are you 13% or 13 minus 3? Does that make sense?
Minus 3.
Yep. And then the last one was 2%. So this would be 1%. Have you guys ever heard of the 1 percentiles in terms of rich people?
Yeah.
So yes, the 1 percentiles are these super rich people. And these super rich people own a lot of the world.
Elon Musk.
Yes, that's one of them. So there's a little bit of people that own a lot. Should they own that much? No. How much do 1 percentile rich people own? Average net worth of the 1 percentile. Okay, I think there was something. Now, stats, you can actually just explain very, very many different things. So, the world's 26 richest people own as much as half of the world. So, this little tiny bit of right here owns as much as what? As half of them combined. So this little bit of people right here, okay? Anyway, so this is what I want to see in your notes right here. This is the most important thing. All right, cool. All right, guys, I think that's all I have for today. Tomorrow we'll do Khan Academy together, and then we'll finish it in class. All right?
All right.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Great. You too.
Bye.